Today we're going to be working on cloth number 4 of the 12 dishcloths of Christmas. I've been having a lot of fun doing these cloths, and I hope you have too. The last one we did was a snowman, and I hope that you joined me for that. If not, you can find it in my videos. It's also in the playlist, so you can check that. We'll need 3 colors for this cloth. We're going to need white. This is Lily Sugar and Cream White. We'll need green. This is Lily Sugar and Cream Renegade. And we'll need red. And this red is actually called Poppy Red. This is Bernat Handicrafter Cotton Deluxe Yarn. I've never used it before, but it feels very similar to the other cotton yarns, so I think that it'll handle just the same. You're also going to need, of course, a crochet hook. I'm using a size I, which is a 9 or 5.5 millimeter. You're going to, of course, need scissors, that's a given, and also a yarn needle for weaving in those ends. So I'm excited about this Christmas wreath, and let's get started. To begin with, we're going to start with white. Please forgive the squeaky chair. I don't know why it's so squeaky, really, but it is. So we're going to start this cloth the same way that we've done most of the others. We're going to start with a slip knot and chain 21. Now, you don't have to use white as a background if you don't have white. If you want to use a different color or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But whatever I'm using the white for, you will need your background color. Okay, so let's chain 21. Oops. Okay, so I've chained 21. For the first row, we're going to work into the second chain from the hook, just a single crochet, and then single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 20 single crochets. You might prefer to count along the way, or you might want to count when you get done. Either way, if you start in the second chain from the hook and you end up in the very last chain, you should have 20 single crochets. Okay, this is the end of the first row. Let's do a second row just of the plain white. So chain 1, work a single crochet into each stitch across for a grand total of 20 single crochets. For row number 3, we're going to start with the white, but we'll want to have the green ready to add on in just a little bit. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to make 6 single crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and as we've done before, we're going to pick up a loop in that 7th stitch. Now take your green and complete that stitch. Now we're going to work across the white and carry it because we'll need it again on the other side. We're also going to work across this tail of the green, and we might not get it all worked in, but we'll at least work some of it in, and that'll be less to weave in later. So we're going to do 5 single crochets of the green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th one, pick up a loop, drop the green, pick up the white, complete that stitch. And if you get a little loose stitch here, that's okay, just pull it from the back. Alright, and complete the cloth to the end, which will be 7 single crochets of the white or whatever background color you're using. And if you lose count at any time, you're not sure if you're quite at the end or whatever, just turn it up and count the little V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you have 7, you know you've gotten to the end. Alright, let's turn and do the next row. On this row, we're going to start the same way. Chain 1, work 4 single crochets this time. 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th one now, bring up a loop. In the previous designs, the design has been tight enough that it just kind of gradually goes up, and so we can just kind of carry this tail on up. But this one, obviously, there's more of a stretch here. So what I'm going to do is cut this off and reattach it. So we'll have to sew that in later, but that's not so bad. So now we're going to complete this with the green. And if you have 2 separate balls of green, you could do that as well, but there's really no need because we're going to go on up from here. Alright, so we're going to still carry the white and work across the tail. This time we're making 9 single crochets of the green. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in the 10th one, we're going to pull up a loop, drop the green, pick up the white and complete that stitch, and then finish up with 5 single crochets of the white to the end. Okay, next row, let's turn, chain 1. This time we're going to do 3 single crochets, and in the 4th we'll pull up a loop. Now I think it's fair to say that we're close enough now. We can just pick up that green, pull it up, and we're going to work 12 total. So let's do 11. Okay, this is 11. Let's do one more, but only pull up a loop. Okay, drop the green, pick up the white, complete that stitch, and then there should be 4 single crochets to the end. Turn. Alright, let's chain 1. This time we're going to work 2 single crochets and pull up a loop in the third. Take that green, complete the stitch. Let's work 14 this time, so 13 and then pull up a loop in 14. Okay, so this is 13. For 14, we're just going to pull up that loop, drop the green, pick up the white, and complete the stitch. And then there should be 3 single crochets to the end of the cloth. We're going to work this next row just like we did the previous one. So we're going to chain 1 and work 2 single crochets, pull up a loop in the third, complete that stitch with the green. Okay, and then we're going to work 13 single crochets of the green and pull up a loop in the 14th stitch. And I've got a tangle in my yarn, so I'm going to let you finish this row and then I'll show you the next row. For the next row, we're going to start off like we did the previous one. I'm going to chain 1 and work 2 single crochets. And in the third one, pull up a loop. Complete that with the green. Let's continue to work across the white. We're going to make 5 single crochets of the green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the 6th one, pull up a loop. Oops. Complete that stitch with white. We're going to make 1 white single crochet, and this time we're carrying the green. And in the second one, pull up a loop, drop the white, pick up the green, and complete that stitch. Let's work across the white again. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the 6th one, simply pull up a loop, drop the green, pick up the white, complete that stitch, and then of course there are 3 single crochets to the end. Turn and let's do the next row. On this row, we're going to on this row and the next several rows, we're going to start the ends exactly the same. We're going to, of course, chain 1. We're going to work 1 single crochet and then pull up a loop in the second. Alright, go ahead and take that green and complete this stitch. And now we're going to work 5 single crochets of green. Carry the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the 6th one we're going to pick up that loop and complete the stitch with white. We're going to work across the green again. We're going to work 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then in the 4th one pull up that loop. Complete it with green. Working across the white, we're going to make 5 single crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the 6th one pull up a loop, drop the green, pick up the white, complete that stitch, and then you should have 2 single crochets to the end. Okay. On this row, we're going to start the same, but the middle is going to get bigger, so we'll have less greens. So chain 1, work a single crochet, pull up a loop in the next one, complete that stitch with the green, and let's work across the white. This time we're making 5 single crochets, so we'll do 4 and then pull up a loop in the 5th. Okay, complete that stitch with white, and then working across the green, we're going to make 5 single crochets and pull up a loop in the 6th. Drop the white, pick up the green, complete that stitch, work across the white for 4 single crochets and pull up a loop in the 5th. Drop the green, pick up the white, complete that stitch, and then there are 2 single crochets to the end of the cloth. Okay. We're going to repeat this row 3 times. So work the next 3 rows exactly the same as you did this one, with the 2 single crochets on each end, and you're going to have the 5 single crochets of green and 6 in the middle. Now that those rows are completed, we should already have 12 rows. If you need to, you can count, but we should have 12 rows total. We're about to work on row 13. Let's chain 1 and begin the same way. We're going to single crochet and then pull up a loop. Alright, drop that white and pick up the green. Complete the stitch. And in this one, we are going to work 6 single crochets. So we're going to do 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the 6th one pull up a loop. And remember, we're working across the white because we need to carry it. Alright, complete that stitch with the white. Now working across the green, we're going to make 4 single crochets, so that's 3 full single crochets, and then in the 4th one we're just going to pull up a loop, complete the stitch with the green, whoops, and then we're going to work 6 single crochets on this side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then of course in the 6th one we pull up a loop and complete it with white, and then complete the cloth to the end, which is 2 single crochets. Turn, and for row 14, this is going to be a little bit different now. We're going to make more single crochets on the end. So we're going to start by chaining 1 and then work 2 single crochets and pull up a loop in the 3rd. Okay, let's go ahead and finish that stitch with the green. Now we're going to work 6 single crochets, so that's 5 complete single crochets, and then in the 6th one we pull up a loop. 4, 5, and then pull up a loop in the 6th one, and remember we're working across the white, so we drop the green, pick up the white and complete that stitch. And now working across the green, we are going to take only 2 single crochets, so we're going to do 1 full single crochet and then only pull up a loop in the next, drop the white, pick up the green and complete the stitch. Now we're working 6 single crochets across the white, carrying that, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then of course pull up that loop in the 6th, drop the green, pick up the white, complete that stitch, and then there should be 3 single crochets to the end. Good. On the next row, of course, we're going to turn and chain 1. On this one, we are working it the same way to begin. Chain 1 and work 2 single crochets and pull up a loop in the 3rd. Pull up that green and complete that stitch. Working across the white, we are going to work 4 single crochets. So let's do 1, 2, 3. My kids are being so loud this morning. Please forgive the noise. And at this point, you might be getting a little tangled with your yarns. That's okay. At this point, we're going to add on the red. You don't have to. You could totally finish this green wreath, just like we're doing. But I'm going to go ahead and add the bow. If you want to add the bow later, you could certainly do an applique and then tack it on like we've been doing for like in the baby Jesus cloth or the scarf on the snowman. But in this cloth, I decided to do it a little differently. So on this one, I'm just going to complete that stitch with red. I'm going to work 1 single crochet, and I'm working across the green and the white now. And in the second one, I'm just going to pull up that loop. Now, with white, I'm going to complete that stitch, and I'm going to work 1, carry that red and green, 1, and in the second, pull up a loop, drop those tails, and pick up the red again, complete that stitch. Across white and green, we're going to work 1 single crochet of red, and then the second one, pick up a loop, drop those. You don't need the red anymore right now, so just drop that completely, and we're going to finish the stitch with green. Okay, now we're going to work 3, working across the white, work 3 single crochets and then pull up a loop in the 4th. So this is 3, and then pull up that loop, drop the green, pick up white, and complete to the end. Okay, which is 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and you can see I'm starting to get tangled up here, which is really easy to do when you're working with so many yarns. Okay, 3. For this next row, we're going to chain 1. We're going to work 3 single crochets of white and pull up a loop in the 4th. Complete that stitch with green, and we're working 3 single crochets of green. Of course, remember to carry your white. So this is 2, and then in the 3rd one, just simply pull up that loop, pick up your red, complete that stitch, and we're working across the green and the white now with red. We're going to single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the 6th one, pull up a loop. Now, pick up the green and complete that stitch. Somehow I didn't get up under those. I need to do that. There we go. Alright, complete that stitch with green. Now we're working 3 single crochets of the green, so 2 full, and then working across the white. So you need 1, 2, and in the 3rd one, pull up a loop. Whoops. I'm getting really tangled up with my yarn right now. Let me take a short break and unwind, but basically what you're going to do is just complete with white to the end. Now that I've sufficiently untangled the yarn, I'm going to complete that stitch with white, and then I'm going to work 4 single crochets to the end of the cloth. 2, 3, and 4, and that last stitch is a little bit tight, so there we go. 4. Alright, working the next row, and we're nearly done. On this row we're going to do of course the chain 1, and then we're going to work 5 single crochets, so 4, and then pull up a loop in the 5th. 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's pull up a loop, complete that with green. Now working across the white, we're going to make 1 full single crochet, and in the 2nd one we're going to pull up a loop. Let's complete this stitch with red because we're still working on the bow. Alright, and working across the green and the white, we're going to take 1 single crochet and then pull up a loop in the 2nd. Then we're going to complete this stitch with green. Work 1 single crochet, and this is across the red and white, and then in the 2nd one pull up a loop, drop that green, pick up red, and complete the stitch. Working across the green and white, we're going to take 1 single crochet and pull up a loop in the 2nd one. Drop the red, we're done with it, and in fact at this point you can go ahead and clip that, leaving a tail to weave in. And I'm going to go ahead and untangle all this red. There we go. And that might make it a little bit easier for me now. Complete that stitch with green. And now we're working 2 single crochets, so of course the first one is a full single crochet, and then the 2nd one you're going to pull up that loop. Complete that stitch with white, and then you're going to work 5 single crochets to the end of the cloth, just with white. For the next row, we're going to chain 1. Work 6 full single crochets and pull up a loop in the 7th. Complete that stitch with green, and now we're going to work 5 single crochets and pull up a loop in the 6th one. working across the white. Drop the green, pick up white and complete that stitch, and now take 7 single crochets with the white to the end. And 7. At this point we are finished with the green, so let's go ahead and clip that. Okay, and we're going to complete the cloth with 2 rows of 20 single crochet in white. So of course we're going to chain 1 and work 20 single crochets to the end for this row and 1 more row, and then I'll see you again. We've come to the end of the cloth, and so I just clipped the tail, pulled it through. I'm going to take a few minutes and weave in all the ends. If you have any that are sticking out to the front like I did, just pull them to the back and go ahead and weave them in with all the rest. You can add a border or not, that's completely up to you. I probably will. I like the way this cloth turned out, and so I'm just going to probably add a very simple border to mine. You may choose not to. Normally on a dishcloth I won't add a border if it's for me. If it's for a friend or a family member, then I will, because I want it to look extra specially nice. But I'm just going to take a few minutes with my yarn needle, weave in the ends. I will probably add a border and be done. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you have an excellent day, and don't forget to check next time. About this time next week there should be another cloth pattern coming out. You know, I don't have a lot of these as written patterns on my website. I may choose to do so, or I may not. It just depends. I probably won't do every single cloth as a pattern, but you can find a few online. I think I have 2 so far online, and this is our 4th cloth. Some of them may never appear as a written pattern, and I do apologize for that if that's kind of what you like. This one probably will. Another couple of them I might do 6 cloths out of 12 that have a written pattern. I haven't really decided yet. It really depends on how much time I have to spend on typing it all up and getting it uploaded to my website and all that. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can like and subscribe, and then it'll show up in your email inbox when there's a new video out. So thank you again, and have a great day. Bye.